Now, moving towards the lab task of lab number 6 for OSPF configuration, you have to build the network topology in Packet Tracer. If you can see that link bandwidths are mentioned here along with the links from router to router. The link cost from router 1 to router 2 is 64 kilobits per second, and from router 1 to router 3 it's 256 kilobits per second. These are highlighted because the cost metric in OSPF is bandwidth. Similarly, VLSM is used here. As you can see that in highlighted boxes, the host bits are changed. So you have to consider these variable length subnet mask before filling the IP addressing table. As per previous practice, let's consider how to complete the task in Packet Tracer. First of all, you will build this topology in Packet Tracer. After that, you have to fill the addressing table. The next step is to prepare the network and perform basic router configurations. The basic router configurations includes the host name, to disable DNS lookup, to configure privilege mod passwords, to configure console passwords, etc. After IP assignment, use show IP interface brief command, as it is highlighted here, to verify that your IP addressing is correct. Once you have confirmed that your IP addressing is correct, the next step is to configure OSPF. The first command to enter OSPF is router OSPF and the process ID. Process ID can be written as 1 here, and after entering into the router, OSPF network command is used. You can see that after network 1, wildcast mask and area is used. So I have written here the example that how to write the command. You will enter router OSPF 1, then into network write the network 1 ID, and then wildcard mask and write area 0. For this lab experiment, use area as 0 for the whole lab. Now the point arises that how to calculate the wildcast mask. You have successfully written the subnet mask here. By inversing subnet mask, wildcard mask can be calculated here. So after network ID, wildcard mask has to be written here. You can see in manual that the process to calculate wild mask is also shown here. Now, after configuring OSPF on router number 1, you have to configure it on router 2 and on router 3 as well. And once you have configured it on router 2 and 3, the router sends a notification to the console stating that a neighbor relationship with another OSPF router has been established. The message is shown like this on your CLI mod. You can see that in step 3, the question is asked that what is the IP address of the OSPF neighbor router. So the NBR in this box represents the neighbor and the IP is the neighbor IP address. So from this message you can answer this question in step 3 as well. Next step is to configure OSPF on router 3. The process remains the same. After that, show IP protocol command is used to see the router ID. 3 commands can be used to see the router ID, that is show IP protocols, show IP OSPF and show IP OSPF interface. You can see that router ID can be listed here by using these 3 commands. In manual here, only show IP protocol command is used, but you can also use show IP OSPF and show IP OSPF interface to see the router ID. After this step, loopback addresses are used, and you can also verify OSPF operation by pinging the command. Show IP route is used to examine the routing tables for OSPF. Once this process is complete for router 2 or router 3, use ping command to check the successful connectivity of OSPF using systems. Now, in the last step, I have told you that the cost metric is link bandwidth. Till now we haven't configured link bandwidth, so the default link bandwidth is used here. Again, to change the link bandwidth, use command bandwidth with the interface. For example, router 1 is connected to router 2 with serial interface. Again, after this, write the bandwidth of that link, that is 64. So if you have changed the link bandwidth, again use show IP OSPF interface command and it will show you the updated link cost. Again, by changing the link bandwidths from default to the given link bandwidth of the topology, you can also configure the OSPF hello and dead intervals. In these commands, OSPF hello and dead intervals are changed to 5 and 20 seconds from default. So this is all for the lab task. You have to configure step by step. It is a bit tricky one, so go step by step. Don't configure the link bandwidth in the start. First, check your successful connectivity with by default commands and with by default values, and then play with the link bandwidths or with the dead and hello interval. Thank you.